There's a ghost in the data of Mario Kart DS, but it's not Boo, not King Boo. It's someone far stranger. A man whose inventions shaped the Mushroom Kingdom. A man who gave Luigi his courage, and even Mario his gadgets. A man whose fingerprints are literally scattered across the entire Mario universe, yet never made it to the starting line. This is the story of the Lost Racer, the one who almost joined the race, Professor Elvin Gadd, also known as Professor Gadd. At the dawn of the GameCube era, few new characters made an impression like Professor Gadd. Introduced in Luigi's Mansion from 2001, Professor Gadd was the eccentric scientist who of course equipped Luigi with the Poltergust 3000, just sending him into a haunted mansion to save his brother Mario. His quirky laugh, crackling voice, and of course scribbly design were instantly iconic. He wasn't just another NPC, he was the heart of Luigi's new identity, the brains behind the gadgets, the scientist behind the scares, and Nintendo ran with it. Gadd's inventions began appearing everywhere. In Super Mario Sunshine, he was name-dropped as the creator of FLUDD, of course known as Flood, who was the water jet that Mario used throughout his Isle Delfino adventure. Then came Mario and Luigi's Partners in Time, where Gadd played another major role, this time as a younger version of himself, just proving that Nintendo saw real potential in the character, and realistically, gave him a proper backstory. Why isn't any of this actually relevant to Mario Kart DS? Well, by 2005, Professor Gadd had become something rare for the Mario series. A new reoccurring character with personality, lore, and even just cross-game connections. He was essentially Nintendo's new Toadsworth, a consistent face of the GameCube generation. So, when Mario Kart DS entered development, it almost seemed inevitable, just that Professor Gadd would join the roster. Fast forward to 2005, Mario Kart DS launched to massive acclaim, but years later, fans digging through the game's files would uncover something very strange. Evidence of a missing racer. Hidden within the code sits a folder labeled Oyama, which is actually Professor Gadd's Japanese name. Inside it, references to a very unique car, the Poltergust 4000, which of course made it into the final game, but this car in particular actually had an emblem that matched Gadd's lab logo. But it goes deeper than that. Using debug tools, fans discovered you could actually activate the hidden racer slot. When you do this, the name Gadd actually appears in place of the driver's name. His model though, just a toad. His voice, also just toads. His car, well, this was actually a placeholder borrowed from Mario. It's kinda clear that Gadd never really made it past the testing stage, but he was there at least. This wasn't a rumor, it wasn't a hoax. He was almost meant to be playable in Mario Kart DS at some point. So what actually happened? The evidence points to a late development change. Somewhere along the way, Professor Gadd was quietly swapped out, replaced by none other than Drybones. It makes sense when you look at the timeline. Drybones fits the nostalgic tone Nintendo wanted for Mario Kart DS. This game in particular pulled heavily from Super Mario Kart and even Mario Kart 64, with a mix of returning tracks and even just classic enemies. And Professor Gadd, well, he was technically still a GameCube era character, a little bit niche and still tied closely to Luigi's Mansion. The files suggest that Gadd was meant to be unlockable, likely alongside other secret characters like Rob, Daisy and Waluigi, but instead, Drybones took his place, and Rob, of course, filled the special slot. Or maybe Nintendo simply ran out of time, or maybe it was a deliberate choice, just a safer bet based on being more recognizable. If you look at Mario Kart DS though, Gadd would have fit perfectly. The game was the first in the series to introduce a story-like tone, missions, bosses, and even new karts with deep character identity. Each driver had a kart that reflected them. Bowser's tank, Luigi's poltergust, Peach's heart vehicle, and so forth. Gadd's car, as I just mentioned before, would have been the Poltergust 4000. Imagine it. Gadd zooming through the Luigi's Mansion themed track. It honestly would have been perfect, but instead, that role thematically shifted to Dry Bones. Another ghostly figure, another symbol of death and just resurrection. It's kinda poetic in a strange way. The Lost Racer became a ghost of himself and was replaced by a literal skeleton. Since then, Professor Gadd has just risen in more popularity, appearing in a lot of other games. He's been in a lot of places, aside from being a playable character in Mario Kart. In the end though, Professor Gadd became another name in Nintendo's long list of unfinished experiments in Mario Kart, just like Kamek, unused karts, and of course a lot of scrapped items that can be found in the files of several Mario Kart games. But maybe, just maybe, his story might not be over. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Mario Kart Tour of course brought back Kamek from the dead, and even brought back a lot of races that we haven't seen for a very, very long time in Mario Kart. Professor Gadd could easily join that list, or even appear in Mario Kart World or a future Mario Kart game. If Mario Kart World will turn out to be like Mario Kart Tour, just with a lot of consistent updates, rotating events, or whatever it looks like, they could easily find a way to slot him in. It would just be really, really poetic. The racer who never made it, finally crossing the finish line. The only scrap character technically that has never made it into a Mario Kart game. For now though, Professor Gadd remains trapped, not in a mansion this time, but in code, buried deep inside Mario Kart DS, forever unseen by players. A real reminder that sometimes, even the brightest minds never make it out of the lab. He never made it to the starting line, but his fingerprints are everywhere in Mario Kart's DNA. His inventions, his machines, his imagination, all of it helped shape Mario's world, even if he never got the chance to race through it himself. So, thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed uncovering another piece of Mario Kart's lost history, consider leaving a like, and of course subscribing for a lot more deep dives, hidden stories, and of course forgotten legends from across the Mario Kart history. I'm SwiftJar, and this was The Lost Racer. But now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Professor Gadd will ever make it onto the starting line? Or is he just destined to stay behind the scenes forever? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And even let me know other forgotten races that have of course been in Mario Kart that deserve to come back in the future. I'd love to read through them all. Until next time though, make sure to take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all in the next video. See ya.